Hello everyone. Today I'd like to tell you about Russian female names, which can even sound beautiful, but usually Russian people associated with old ladies or with the Soviet Union because these names were popular in that period of time in Soviet Union or in Russian Empire, and now they seem old-fashioned in Russia. You have no such kind of cultural background, and you can say, are they really beautiful or not, for example? Do you like them or not? I found 13 female names which are suitable for this topic, and I made some kind of personal rate, so I'll start from the very last and we are going to move to the first place. I had the same video, not the same, but about popular Russian female names. It was maybe the second video on this channel, and we will start for now. I want to tell one important thing, that of course it's possible to find young women and girls with these names too, but it's a rare thing for now, and these names are not so widespread for nowadays. So the first name in our rate, number 13, is Nina. I think you know this name. I know that it's quite popular in foreign countries too, but in Russia I actually find this name quite beautiful, and that's why I placed it on the last place of this rate. I think Nina is quite a beautiful name, and when you hear this name in foreign movies or somewhere abroad, it seems so beautiful and nice. But in Russian culture, you mostly can find this name in some old books, Soviet books, some Soviet stories, romance, or books about Russian Empire, something like this. And nowadays you mostly can meet just old women with this name, and that's why parents usually don't want to choose this name for baby girls. But actually that's one of my most favorite names which are popular in Russia, so that's why it takes the last 13th place. And how can you shorten this name? Not shorten, it's short by itself, but how you can say it's more softly, in some nice way in Russia. You can say Ninochka. Ninochka is, I think, the most popular variant, and yeah, the best one. I actually don't know anyone else. Ninuля, Ninusia, but I never heard it. I just think that it's possible to say like this. The next name, I think I'm sure that you know this. Number 12 is Zoya. I know that in foreign countries there is Zoe, and with me it works like that. I like Zoe. I like how it sounds abroad in some other countries, in some movies, but Zoya, like we say it in Russia, we write it in Russia like that. I don't like it because that it sounds old-fashioned. This name is very typical for Soviet books, Soviet stories, and that's why it's not popular now, and yeah, and old-fashioned again. And I don't even know how to say Zoya in some other way, in some soft and nice way, maybe Zoichka. I think no one does it, I guess. So Zoya is number 12, and yeah, you could notice that I write these names and I use Latin alphabet. Of course, in Russia we don't write it like that. I just do it to make it readable for you, so you could read it, because with the Russian alphabet I suppose you couldn't do this. Number 11 is Antonina. The short version of Antonina, which is quite popular, is Tonya, and I know that Tonya is we can meet it in foreign countries, and I remember a movie with Margot Robbie, not so old movie, Tonya against the world or something like this. So I don't know. I met this name not so often in my life. I don't think that it's old-fashioned or something, but now it's just not popular at all. I don't know people with this name. Never met them, even old women. But in books, in movies, in series, usually women with this name are old or in their 40s, 50s, or something like this. Usually, they are teachers, or old teachers, or something like this, or some office workers, typical old lady in her 40s or 50s years old, something like this. But I think Antonina is not such an ugly name or something. I like not Antonina, but I know in Poland it's popular Antonia, and I like Antonia version. So something like this. So you can shorten this name like Tonya. I think Tonichka also possible. Our top 10 opens name Любовь. I mentioned this name in the previous video as one of the most popular names in Russia, but this name was popular among people of again 40 who are 40, 50, 60 and so on. Now it's not so popular. Любовь means love in Russian, and that's quite a nice meaning, but I don't like how it sounds for name, for female name. I think it's a bit, I don't know, not really beautiful. You can shorten this name like Luba or Lucia, like Lucy in English, and in Russian it's Lucia, Любочка. What else? I think that's all. Любонька maybe, but I almost never heard this variant. So the next one. The next one is Natalia, Natasha. I know that the foreigners think that it's quite popular among Russian women, and it really was, but because of this, now it's not popular at all. Firstly, because it's more typical for old ladies, for grown-up women, but also because there are some negative associations with this name, like Natasha from Russia, something negative, something about stereotypes, and I think that's also made this name not really popular. So the full name is Natalia, and it can be Natalia or Natalia, and sometimes it gives problems with the documents because you always need to be careful how your name was written in your passport, in your documents, because if it's incorrect you'll get lots of problems, and you always have to tell how to write your variant of name, Natalia or Natalia. And what else? I know that it's possible to shorten this name like Nata, but I never heard. Tasha, almost never heard too. Natashenka, Natusia. Natusia is more common for Russia. And I think that's all for this name. Number 9 is Vera. I'm sure that you heard this name too. I know that you can meet this name in foreign countries. Vera means faith in Russian, and I like this name too, but that's super common for all ladies in Russia, and I think young girl named Vera can be associated with the old lady too, because it's not popular at all nowadays. But as I said, I love this name. You can say also Verочка in some nice way. Verusia, no, I don't think so. It's not popular. So just Verочка, Vera, that's okay. Number 8 is Lydia, and I also heard this name in some English speaking movies, in Pride and reduce. I remember the sister of the main character was Lydia. And actually, again, like with Zoe, when I hear this name in foreign movies, Lydia sounds so aesthetic, so beautiful, so nice. But in Russian culture, in the Russian language, we used to hear this name in Soviet books again, in old books, old stories from Russian Empire, and it's not so. It doesn't seem so nice and fashionable and beautiful for me, I can say, but as I see for others too, because it's not a common name for nowadays. You can call Lydia Lida. It's the most popular short version, Lidочка. I think that's all. I never heard anything else. And also, most of the names are female names. I mean, you can make it more nicer. You can make it softer, adding this chika. So Verочка, Ninочка, and so on. Not with all the names, but almost. I think 99% names you can change like this if you want to speak more. If you want to speak softer with the person, nicer. You want to so your love and affection. I'm sorry. So I hope that you got what I mean. Number 7 is Zinaida. The short version is Zena, or you can also say Zinочка. I think that's the most popular versions of this name. I never heard anything else. And again, I think that I remembered Ida, because Zinaida, and you can shorten it like Ida, but actually I almost never heard about that. I think usually people do it to be more fashionable, to be more foreign, or something like this, because again, Zinaida is super typical name for these old times and not fashionable at all. And usually we think about old ladies when we hear Zena or Zinaida, some old lady who works with documents in some office, some typical old-fashioned office. Number 6 is Claudia, and I really don't like this name at all. The reason why it's just number 6 is that but I'm okay with Western pronunciation, Claudia. Claudia sounds nice and fashionable because of Claudia Schiffer, maybe. But Claudia is terrible for me. I don't know how Western pronunciation makes names more fashionable, but it works again. And in Russia, Claudia, the short version is Klava, and Klava is super terrible and super nasty and super unpopular nowadays. So something like this, Claudia and Klava. And actually, if Claudia gives us associations with Claudia Schiffer, but Claudia gives associations. I'm sorry, I really have problems with this word. And Claudia tells us about Baba Klava. Baba in Russian means grandma, or some rude woman, or old woman. So something like this. And it's all about this name, Baba Klava, really. Number 5 is Ludmila. I think that you know name Mila, and I am not sure, but I think that Mila Jovovich and Mila Kunis, their full name can be Ludmila, but I'm not sure. I read it somewhere, but it was a long time ago. So Ludmila also can be shortened like Luda. That's more common for Russia, but also you can do it like Mila, and that's more foreign, more like people do abroad. So if you want to be more fashionable, again, you usually say Mila, not Luda. And again, this name is super typical for Soviet Union, I guess, for Soviet Union stories. And that's why now people don't want to get this name, because Cool. Number 4 is Valentina. And again, if you meet this name somewhere in France or somewhere else, that sounds super nice, super fashionable and all that stuff. But in Russia, Valentina is a typical name for all ladies, and the short version is Valya, and that sounds not cool, not beautiful, and now people, I never heard young girl, I never met young girls with name Valentina, but actually I think Valentina, the full name, is beautiful. I don't like Valya, or Valichka, you can say, and no, I don't like it, but Valentina itself is quite a nice name actually. So that's, I feel a bit sorry even about this. And also there was popular name Valentin, so for men. And again, you could call this man Valya, and that's not really handsome or something. So now Valentin and Valentina, both unpopular. Number 3, Tamara. And I know one girl who is the same age with me, and she's Tamara, but that's the only person whom I know, and mostly these are all ladies again, or some characters from the classic Russian books, so something like this. Shortened versions are Toma, Tamarочка, Tanishkin, I don't know what else, Toma usually. Number 2 is Raisa, Raisa, like we would pronounce in Russian, and this name is super old-fashioned. This name is super for all ladies. I can't imagine a girl nowadays named Raisa. Everyone would think that she is old. She'll get this associations. I'm sorry, it's difficult for me to pronounce it. And yeah, this name it's super unpopular for now. The shortened versions are Raya, Raichka, and actually Rai in Russian means heaven. So the meaning is not so bad, but this context makes it not pleasant for people, and they don't want to name babies like that. And the first place takes one of my unfavorite names at all, but actually I have one relative named like that, and she's quite old. Yeah, she's old lady, and this name is Galina. I know that Galina means chicken in Spanish language, but also now Galina is super unpopular female name. I think I would give Raisa and Galina both the first place, but Galina is, I don't know, I don't like it more than Raisa. And also the shortened version is Galia, and I don't like it too. Galочка, I don't like it too. So I'm happy that I'm not Galina, and I never met again young girls nowadays named Galina, and I don't know anyone who would love this name, so that's why it's the first place for today. So you can tell me how you perceive these names as foreigners. You just heard it and you never read Soviet books, Soviet stories, never watched Soviet movies, and I suppose that you haven't. But I mean, you don't have such a background, and you can perceive it in some fresh way, and you can tell me how you perceive these names, how do they like them, and do you like them or not actually. That would be very interesting to hear. So I hope that you love this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.